So we got to close the book on this Halloween stuff really fast. And all right.
Uh-oh, he's taking the hat off.
No,
No,
she's
no,
not
I'm
taking my
hot,
hat
man.
off.
Oh, you
Oh,
I'm
hot.
I
hot,
thought
man.
that
let
was BK finna get serious. Let me take this hat off right quick.
let them locks
Okay.
breathe.
Yeah, I gotta let the air get to the
I
hair
can't
follicle
with
so they can
Ace.
grow.
Hmm.
All right, so this week has been a busy one.
Yes.
I don't even know how to get into this conversation really, but so we're just gonna jump right in. I
So, BK was invited. That's how you can start it off. BK was invited.
okay, so BK was in. Okay, so about a couple of weeks ago, I got a message from the homie Tiffany Red, right? And in the
Yeah.
message, she said one of her supporters were was listening to a show we did about the Matrix. So yeah, technically good segue, by the way. Thank you, Kevin, from the comments.
Yes.
Anyway,
How you
we
doing?
were we were talking about the Matrix, and that person said that I sounded intelligent, articulate, and that I seemed like I would be a good guest. They said it several times, by the way. One time on Tiffany's show, I think. One time on her show, because I watched the episode the week before I got on, and a few times, and I think twice to me in my DMs on Instagram, because I end up DMing this person. And, we set up going on her show, and I was excited. I promoted it. I was like, yo, I'm going on this show. Secret, I was like, I might be walking into like a fire pit, but I'm okay with that, because we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a dialogue. It's
Oh, we
not
gonna
about
have a
changing
conversation.
minds. This is just going to be like a really cool conversation, and I'm hyped for it because I like y'all know I like to talk. I have a podcast. Well, technically now we all have a podcast because we're all a part of it. Except for Creativity Red is like extended fam. Yeah. But anyway, we were like, yo, I asked them, I told them, they were like, Novacaine was like, I don't know. Because I watched one of the episodes, I was like, this might be a fire pit going in. And I'm not sure how this conversation is gonna go. Again, continually calling it a conversation. Well, I got on the show,
I'm sorry.
and oh my god, that was not a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. It was
It's a
a
train wreck.
full-on debate that became a train wreck. When
Yeah.
I tell you,
Oh my God.
that's black man punching bag is what I
Yeah.
was. And I
Yes.
was
Most
like,
definitely.
from the jump of this conversation, like, share, and subscribe, by the way. Share the stream. Um, I was like, goddamn, like, what did I do to represent all of black men, all the black men that ever hurt this young lady? But when I jumped into the stream, it was like from go. As soon as she said, this man's I think she beat me up again. It was like he's articulate. He seemed he was gonna be a great guest. He
Oh
has a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcast.
This person did say that. They did say that at the very beginning,
He
introducing
got a
you.
podcast. And so I'm like, okay, we finna have a good open dialogue. So then she said, I don't know if he's married or whatnot, or what his religious status is, and hopefully he tells us. So
That
when I
shouldn't
jumped
even
in,
matter.
so when I
That
jumped
shouldn't
into
even
the
matter.
conversation, she said, so what's your whatnot? And I was like, I'm married and I'm a Christian. And from that point on, it was like DEFCON 4, Armageddon, the worst horror movie I've ever starred in, and I was just a coach. Bro,
And you was just an extra. You didn't even star in this. You were
Right.
barely a star. You were
yo,
barely a star here.
yo,
I'm sorry.
when I tell you the onslaught was on from that moment on, I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here thinking the entire time, like, this is what I didn't agree to this. This is not how the lead up to this was. She
No.
seemed really nice. She seemed really open minded to other views, at least to have the dialogue for it. And then all of a sudden, poof, that woman went out the window, and then she was like, "Oh, I guess since I was religious or whatnot, and this is how you listen. A good and from a debate standpoint, she was money. And I am not afraid to say that because I didn't go into this ready to debate. I went in as, regular BK holding a conversation. And she was like, hey, anything you say from this point on, basically, because you're religious, we can't have a conversation because you're going to come from a controlled mindset.
And you should have hung out.
Because
For
you're
real.
trapped. Okay, so.
Like, let me head out.
This is, and we're gonna talk about this deeper on Tiffany Red show after this. I don't know if it's live, but I'm definitely coming over that way. So
Yes, y'all are welcome to come talk about it if y'all want. Cause we're actually gonna review the video.
yeah, she's gonna go in depth. So I'm thinking, I got stunned, y'all. I'm not even gonna front because I'm like, well, damn, what the hell else am I gonna say if she just painted the narrative to her viewers that I am a religious zealot and that I have no other value other than my religion. And this went on for a whole 2 hours. Why didn't I leave?
A whole 2 hours.
Until the end. But why didn't I leave? Because I am a professional, an actual professional.
You're an actual professional.
Okay, I might not be into this podcasting game 6-7 years. But when I tell you, I handle my business and I don't run from battles and I don't run from conversations.
Period.
That's not what we do. That's not how you are. That's not what professionals do.
That's
I was on this young lady's show. I don't even know how old she is for her, but I was on this lady's show. She was in control of that narrative. She was in control of where the conversation went. So, I was like, all right, cool. This is her show. So, and also it's the divestment space, which I can't really explain it 100% to you better than Tiffany Red can, but it's a lot of the women in that seem to be coming from hurt relationships where men were the villain to them in some semblance. They were, I don't want to say dominant, but they were the type of men that's like they weren't good to them. And these women, some of these women are hurt. So in my mindset, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go in here like the typical man because I'm not the typical male. So when a woman is speaking, especially in her realm, I'm like, all right, I give you that respect. This is your show. So I'll let you speak. I'll let you control this conversation. Not because you're a woman, not in that aspect, but because this is your brand. This is your show. Who am I to come into your brand and disrespect your, you know what I'm saying? How you run your
That would have
shit.
been very unprofessional.
And then I would have been painted just like every other male who came on her show.
Yeah.
But you still was.
But you
But
still
I still,
was.
and that's
it
the
was
gag.
like
And I
it was
still
like
was.
a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment, honestly, for real with her.
From her narrative.
From
But
her
it
narrative,
went,
yes.
You should have went full villain.
But from my narrative and from people
Put the mask back on.
from people that know me, they don't see that. You can't see that. You can't turn me into something that I'm not.
Yeah.
Now I get it. She's been hurt. She likes pain. She likes to be disrespected. And that's okay if that's the kink you into. By all means, shawty, do your thing. She called herself a whore. If that's how you want to be,
No, not just herself.
She called
said
all women a whore.
She said all women, and that's when I took offense to it because baby doll, ain't no whore over here. Okay,
So
I don't carry myself as one. I don't think of myself as one. It kind of even took me back to the episode when we were talking about Shay and our definition of what being a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me realize that everybody does have their own definition. But one thing about her, we ain't going to be conforming to what she believes in.
No. And I don't want nobody to take my silence for that, by the way. That's not what that was.
Your silence was definitely, since I do know you, your silence was definitely shocked. Like, I was laughing literally the entire time because anyone that knows you for sure knows, like, this was like out of nowhere. It was, I thought you guys were supposed to be talking about sex work, divestment, black love. There was no black love. Like, even from how the way she was talking to you, black love is more than just me loving my partner. Black love is us being able to talk to each other with some sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just just enjoying each other, respecting each other. Yeah, you have those views. I have my views. I'm not going to force what I believe in onto you. And this is what a lot of people that think like her have an issue with. Like, oh, I'm spiritually connected. All these other religions were man-made. Da 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 da. And they make up all of these ridiculous their own little facts that can't be proven, and it's like how can you have that much energy to think that negatively about your own people for one and yourself?
I agree. That part, the last part, is what I specifically want to talk about because I'm like, here you are, a young lady, and I get it. People find things, different things to empower themselves with, which I'm okay with. Like I said on the show, if you want to call yourself a whore, perfectly fine. But she came after my wife, which would have made it really awkward. So, I tried to bite my tongue a little bit there. But then I was like, no, my wife's not a whore. And the whole time I was trying to remain respectful at that point, by the way.
You
What?
stayed respectful the entire time, just to let you know.
Thank you.
The
Like I
entire
was saying
time.
was, she has a lot of hurt. And I can only speculate, just like she speculated about me, very wrongly, by the way. It seems like there's a lot of hurt there, a lot of pain from somewhere that I don't know what it is. And I can't know because we never had the conversation. And every time we got ready to, or I got ready to make a point about, turn the conversation to Black love or talk about the women divestment, because I do find the topic very interesting. And me and Tiffany Red, we've talked about this privately, at least I remember a few times. And I'm just trying to grasp what it is. Anytime you heard me say I'm interested on the show, slightly not true. I was just trying to be nice and give her something, to move the conversation along so we wouldn't stay on these things and it wouldn't like upset anybody or myself. But it's like, if we're not going to have the real actual conversation, then why have me on? And then she called me boring and attacked me in another video.
Of course you're boring if you can't talk. If somebody going to keep on talking over you and not going to allow you to speak your mind, of course you're boring. But it was that second video that I have a huge issue with. If you're supposedly so professional, why did you name that second episode one name, but you literally just dissected the previous episode where you went back and forth with BK? I did not understand that. That's my hugest issue. Shorty, if you watching this right now, let's have a conversation, a real actual conversation. Will you speak what you gotta say? Well, I'll say what I gotta say. But one thing you're not gonna do is talk down on my partner in this business, say these absurd things, and make this narrative as if every Black man is trash, or what's the word she used? Dusty. Baby girl, you're the dust, okay? You're the dust. And if you supposedly had ascended to this God form, why are you still in your human form? Oh, there's just so many things. There's so many things that she was just saying so wrong. And it's like, it's really the uneducated part for me too. Because like, how she was trying to condescend you with the whole, did you know that that's how genetics work? Like, girl, what? They told us that in middle school. What are you talking about here? What is this conversation? And I'm starting to talk through emotion at this moment, but I was going to leave it. Me personally, I was going to leave it at that episode and maybe even been a guest on her show just to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, oh, I got my dukes up. You know what I'm saying? I got because it's like, of course somebody is going to be defensive when you're on the attack from jump. She wanted to know your religious background so she could take a dump on that. Like, let's stop. Okay, let's be real here. Yes, every religion was basically made to conform people and separate us. Everything is made to separate us. By the way, every freaking thing is.
True.
But almost every black person, every black American person, we came up through Christianity. Highly probable. Highly, highly probable. Let's stop taking a dump on something that we used to believe in just because everybody else don't want to keep on believing in that.
Exactly.
Let's stop doing that. That's just even more separation. Like, you could believe it, and then Shorty was like, stop using the word belief. Well, what is it? Because what you're talking is not fact.
Tiffany Red? Tiffany?
I mean, she's saying a lot of facts though, because okay, once again, I'm not religious. I haven't been religious in years. Like, I've been passed around in religious from Christianity to the nation to the 5%ers. Listen, I've kind of made my way around, but one thing that I never found, one thing I never liked from religious folks is how they judge me for not being whatever they are. So now that I am what, I don't like calling it woke or conscious, because they ruined that for me.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
They ruined that for me.
They ruined the woke part. They ruined that woke part.
They ruined it, and to me, that was kind of an example of how it can be ruined, right? Not just from religious folks. You got folks over here. I'm Hotep, no Hotep looking ass, and you talking about I'm God in the flesh and shit like that. But then you over here acting like you didn't come through the walls of Christianity yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now you judging this person over here, like, I don't know. That really made me feel some type of way, because I always been the outsider. Like, especially when I came down here to the South, we were the Nation of Islam, and most folks was, Christian. So I was an outsider based off that belief. So I know how that feels. So when BK was up there and I'm listening, because I was at work. If it wasn't for me being at work, I would hit that link so quick. It wouldn't have been funny. But
I literally just had got home that night. I think I saw about the last 15 minutes.
With that woman.
Man, I'm sorry, man. I had to get ready.
I feel like I led you to the slaughterhouse, bro.
I'm sorry.
Being in the YouTube space, you kind of have to have
stuck at work.
Aggressiveness, especially because Dusty will hit the link. Trust me, they will come and troll your video. They will hit the link. They will talk all day. Dusty rhetoric.
Get to that part.
And Dusties, and I will say, Dusties do exist, but that doesn't mean that every man or every woman is, just because they don't agree with you.
Right. And I feel like you invited him on there, but then you treat him like a straight up Dusty from the jump,
right?
For whatever reason, and that's what got me. Because even if, let's say, Ace, I don't know where Ace came by my Ace, you came by my YouTube channel and said, hey, I see this over showing this live, and let me see what she's checking out. So you come into my video, and you may come up on a part, you may hear something you don't like. So you're gonna like, well, let me hit this link and give her the business. I'm gonna treat you like a Dusty, because you don't know the context to the video. You don't know what I'm talking about, and if you come up with the same narrative that I always heard, I'm sorry, I might go in on you. Understood? Yeah. But if I invite you to my platform and say, hey, let's have a conversation,
I invited you.
Now, we thought having some disagreements, she kept saying BK wasn't a Dusty, but some of the things he was saying was Dusty. If that's the case, girl, there's a way you can talk. You can converse on it, try to come to some understanding, but you got some folks in the space that's ready to debate, ready to go for the juggler, ready to go and attack not only you, your character, your family, and then that's when the gloves come off. Because
that's when the gloves come off. That's when the gloves come off. And conversations.
I didn't see that coming.
Conversations, if it was supposed to be a dialogue, you say some stuff, I say some stuff. We didn't sign up for a debate team here. Like, I didn't know that. I really honestly did not know what was going on when I clicked that link. I had to go rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? I had to rewatch it from the jump.
Y'all, it sounded like I pissed off, didn't it? Like I said some shit that pissed off.
You were pissed off.
That's what I was like, damn, BK,
No. It sounded like I pissed her off. I wasn't pissed. But at the end of the video, I felt like, all right, you've had your fun. So let me go ahead and explain to you who I am. Because I also live in the space in my mind where I feel like I don't have to explain to people who I am anymore. Now me, before I hit 30, that was my mindset. Like, okay, I need you to know who I am, because then I did know who I was. So then I had to make this facade, this narrative to fit in. But I dropped all that shit a long time ago. And here you are judging me with your psychic abilities that you don't have, allegedly. That you're supposed
I don't
to
know
be.
any psychics that act like that.
I don't know any of them either. So
Just
you're
capping.
telling me, okay, to be fair, that's a little messed up. I don't know if she has psychic abilities or not. But if she did, then she would know that the person she painted me as is not true, because I am not super religious. And
Yeah, she
I
calls
am
you
very
a Bible
a Bible thumper.
Bible
Absolutely.
a
thumper.
Bible thumper.
She kept saying
And
you were
And I'm like, but BK
indoctrinated.
didn't talk about
Yeah, she
Christianity
said
not one
he was
time.
indoctrinated.
and if you know me, and you know my friends group, and you know the people, hell, just with this show, the people that I surround myself with is vast. Everybody has a different level, if at all, of some form of religion. Atheists. They might be spiritual. But even us on this panel, we're a spectrum of what we believe. And have I ever, in any of our conversation, even when you were hurt or upset, just was like, oh, well, let me hit you with this Bible verse real quick so you'll feel better about it.
That's what you should
Never.
have did. You
The
should have just hit him
Lord
with that.
says,
You should have just
Yeah.
said, in the beginning, God created.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't do that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, I don't argue the Bible, because my grandma always said that that's not of God for real. Like, why do you have to argue the Bible? That's there. It's there. They're gonna believe it or they're not gonna believe it. Your job is to just, unless you're a preacher or a priest or something, your job is to just live your life. That's it. And I just live my life. Now, I don't have to beat Bible verses over the head for you to know that I'm a godly person. It's just a part of me. It's not all of me. And I'm not taking offense to that because you're attacking the religion. I don't have to be upset that you're attacking the religion. The religion is going to stand on its own whether I am alive or
Yeah.
not. I don't have to defend that.
That's true.
I don't have to
And
go out
then-
here. I don't have to be a warrior for God, like in a verbal battlefield on the internet every week. It's just it's just not.
It's
not
tiring.
yeah. It's, as long as I'm walking, and I'm walking the way that I'm supposed to be walking, according to my beliefs, I'm Gucci. Now, even
And then that second
go ahead.
episode was so unnecessary.
I didn't
like,
watch the second episode. What happened?
It was so unnecessary. I clicked a lot through it, but basically she was just trying to dissect what y'all had already talked about, and then she was saying some big wild shit like, that's when she said the Bible thumper part and how you're so devoted in your Christianity that you couldn't have this conversation that you wanted to say. But Shorty wasn't really saying much of nothing. Like,
There was no
there's
Things that we
indication
haven't heard
of that,
already.
though.
there's
At what
so
point
many
in our
people.
conversation?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. At what point in that conversation, in the first one, did anybody hear where I, on a personal level, was delivering quotes or feelings that I was devout?
Not one.
Do you know how?
The only thing you said was, "Yeah, I'm a Christian."
I think at one point she asked me about my friends and about if they were like going to marry a porn star or something like that.
Oh yeah. She
And I was
said,
like-
"How would you feel if your friend wanted to marry a sex worker?" And your point that you were trying to make, because you didn't get your whole point out, was
Not one time in this whole episode.
no matter, you were trying to say was, no matter who she is, you're going to always ask your friend, "Are you ready for this?" No matter what she does, no matter who she is, no matter how old she is, whatever the case may be, you're always going to ask them, "What are you ready for this?" and what makes you want to be with this person, period. And I feel like that's a valid question for anybody that's about to get
Right.
married to anybody.
The only
Anybody.
Person, the only person on this panel that I wouldn't question getting married tomorrow would probably be Ace.
huh? What? You said only person that. What did I just got here? What?
You know what? I
Getting
think
married ain't
maybe and second would be Novacaine.
Yeah. Second, I would
But
definitely
if
give
the
me
person
second.
that I would unequivocally not question would probably be Ace, because I know enough about where his mindset is and his standpoint to know what his relationship is not like. I know enough about Novocaine too, but if Turtle Boy was like, "I'm getting married tomorrow," I'm like, "Yo, bro,
Are you
are you
sure?
ready for that?
Are you sure?
Are you
Right.
sure?"
And it's just a regular questioning. She was making it seem like, oh, you don't want your homeboy dating a sex worker? Do you
Ooh,
want to condemn sex workers?
ooh, and that is the key to winning the debate. And this is how she won, because she said nothing but word salad all the way through, but she cut me off before I can make my point. Then, instead of focusing on my points that I was going to make, we couldn't because I never made them. She focused on my connected points. So she pulled the narrative of me being religious from saying, if one of my homeboys is super religious and he is going to marry, say, a porn star, then I will ask him about that, because that will be against his religion. Now, is that me being religious? No. That is just me being smart enough, intelligent enough, and articulate enough. Not my words, hers, to know that if a person who was super religious was going to marry a porn star, maybe we should find out, yo, what changed in you from yesterday till today. That's pretty common. She was pulling Trump 101.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Definitely.
class.
It's been a lot
Brilliant
of Trump
class.
vibes. It's been a lot of Trump vibes through these social sites in these past couple of weeks, and I don't like it.
I
We
tell you
survived-
what.
Oh, go ahead. Then I
I
go
tell
to
you
Trump.
what. Because I was in the comments just joshing around, and I'm glad she did at least admit to what she was trying to accuse everyone of on herself. As she was calling others whores and whatnot. Say it about yourself, and she did. She
And she
owned that
did.
part of it. She sure did. Where
She
it got lost for me was where she was trying to pass off opinion as fact.
Yes.
So
Yes.
men are XY, women are XX. That makes that means you're not a fool.
No.
My
Okay.
God.
Super cat.
Let me tell you
Big
what
cat.
she did, because that's another excellent point. Let's break down debate 101 again. Everybody seen 8 Mile, right? Remember at the end where Eminem took all the ammo and said it about himself before they could say it?
Yeah.
She did that. Now, what she didn't know was, out of pure respect, I was never gonna call her a whore. I was never gonna talk about the fact that all she thinks she's good for is to be on her backside, and that is just untrue. Bossy, if you're listening to this, and because I'm pretty sure you're waiting on my response so you can have more video to make for your YouTube channel for the clicks and views, because
And
this
just
is what
make sure
happens.
you guys that trying to get some tea and whatever, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So this is what the YouTube space is for, you know. You start drama like she is, because she made 2 videos, the one I was on and the one after. She painted the narrative of who I am. Still doing that in a whole nother video. And then she's gonna wait on a response, because now she's goading me into making a response so she could take that response and bastardize it and then say, look, he's just like everybody else. Oh, I am the victim here. Vote for me because I have your best interest in heart.
It's really the narcissist for me.
No, she's
It's
not.
definitely-
I don't know if she's a narcissist.
That's what it's given.
I really honestly think she's
Throw
just a
rock-
glutton.
throw-
She likes
throw rocks
she likes
and
to be
hide your hand.
disrespected. She likes to be disrespected.
Oh, so she a masochist.
She likes to be disrespected, and she was hoping that I was gonna come on her show. And once I said I was religious, I became the enemy. So now, you said you're not sure what the Bible says about prostitution. I didn't lie. I'm not sure. Now, if we were talking about fornication, that's a whole nother question. The question was, is prostitution a sin in the Bible. I don't have the knowledge that it's written.
Wasn't there
anywhere.
prostitution going
Mary
on in
Mary
Sodom and
Magdalene was a
Gomorrah?
prostitute, correct?
No, I'm talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. They said that
That was a
apparently
lot
it
of
was
stuff
like-
going on
It was
in
a lot,
Sodom and
yeah, a
Gomorrah.
lot going on, yeah, a lot.
So
That was
we
hard.
can't like it really was. When we talking
Not facts.
when we're
Facts.
talking about the and for me in my opinion about Sodom and Gomorrah, I think that was more so about everything that was happening, but we always tend to focus on the one narrative that helps us push our narrative. So homosexuality was a thing in Sodom and Gomorrah that became the biggest sin, and that is the narrative we push, which is basically what she did. That's what she was hoping I was going to do. Oh, I'm a whore. I have an OnlyFans account. I do A and B with men all the time for money. She laid all that out for me before I made any responses. And then I returned like, oh, okay, well, I got friends that do sex work. I have a friend that has an OnlyFans account. I saw it. Okay. I've been to strip clubs. I haven't been to one in almost a good 10, about a year. So, yeah.
I mean,
Wait a
they're
minute.
watching Netflix,
Name me
That
one
means it wasn't
person-
great. That means it wasn't
Name me
great.
one person that don't know the jingle to Pornhub. I'll wait.
I don't.
The who?
I'm sorry.
They have a jingle.
I mean, I'm an X video.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I do know that. I do know that.
Everybody knows that. So
Yeah, I do
Bang.
know that.
who? That's a whole obscure rule right there.
Bang, bang.
So who am I when I
Bang,
tell
bro.
you, when I say that I have no grounds to judge you or anybody else, and I wouldn't judge you or anybody else. That wasn't me being a liar. That wasn't me holding back. That was me being who I am. Now, I do know enough about the Bible to know that he said he who without sin cast the first stone. Why the hell would I throw one at you?
Not facts.
Why would I do that?
Not facts. Not
If
facts.
I am the
though.
religious zealot that you painted me to be, it makes sense that I did not condemn you for your sins of whatnot. I'm not the one that hurt you, Shawty. I don't know who did, but
But they
find
hurt
them
you.
and take that pain out on them. They owe you something that
Well,
you
it
can't get
confused
from me.
me because she kept saying how, this assimilation, this dimension is not real. All this really don't matter. But if it don't matter, then what was the point of having
What was
that
the point?
conversation?
What was
Apparently
the
it
point?
matters somewhere.
In your mind, you say it's not real. Whatever. He's a Christian. Then why even? I don't know. It just seemed like an ego trip to me.
And this is
I
why
tell
we
you
need
what
to
it
take
was.
mental illness very serious in the Black community. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
I'll tell you what it was, because it was the root of her issues was a religious. That was like everything she was going to get. So it was
Religious,
some sort
respectful Black man.
Mm.
Okay.
Won't say
respectful
that
black
part. That
man.
was important for me. I'm respectful.
She was going-
Also, hold on. Religious black man with an ego. You
With an
gotta say the
ego.
ego part is important.
You got an ego
With-
since
I
when?
don't,
Got a
but that's what
big
she said.
ego.
You're on an ego trip. That's what it was. But it was like you're mad at somebody in her past was religious that prevented her from doing extracurricular activities, and in her adult life,
She said her daddy was a preacher.
I bet you she was. I didn't even hear.
Right.
I bet you she was.
Did she
And
say
now
that?
She said that I think a few times. Like her father was a preacher, and she know how Christians are, and this. So I understood her on that tip, but I just didn't understand how she was coming. Why?
I don't want to say
It was
the
coming
wrong
at
things,
you.
so I'm gonna leave that in my brain.
I'ma
Or
say
I'ma
it. The
just say
church girl, wild. No, I'm playing.
They do. They do. They the
That's what
wildest.
I heard.
The preacher's
They be the
daughters are
freakiest
the
woman.
wildest.
I heard that too.
The preacher's daughters are the wildest. Okay?
So she became a stereotype.
And then honestly,
Me?
we don't know how he perceived the Bible, because everybody perceived the Bible in a different way and they teach it
True.
a different way. So ain't no telling what could have happened in their household, and he blamed it on the Bible.
Yep. And this is why my grandma said, do not argue the Bible with people. You read for
Exactly.
yourself, you learn for yourself, and then you just walk Christ-like. I ain't gotta be out here bashing you every day because you want to be on your back. You like being on your back. That's you. That's not on me. That's on you. That is stuff
Shorty
you have
needs to find some real
That's
value.
stuff you gotta
in
answer
life.
for on your own terms. I can't answer. I can't be that person for you to condemn you. I'm sorry, I can't do that for you. But you know,
Ain't no way she done did all of that, like soul searching and being aware of self, and then had that conversation. Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, boy.
I agree.
Ain't no way, boy.
But
Ain't
you
no
know,
way.
we gotta start talking about this later. We spent way too much time on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad again too.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
And it's such a great day.
Now I gotta catch her next episode to start capping in the comments.
Dude,
Hey,
let's keep it.
I
Let's keep it classy
aspire
on
to
our
be.
end.
I aspire to be as much of a troll as Ace over here. Okay, guys.
Do. But that's it for us today. Thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for listening to our little rants today. Thanks for hanging out with us on Halloween. It's like our favorite holiday because it's the one holiday we get to goof off the most and we enjoy it, even though we had some serious conversation toward the end there. But thank you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow Tiffany Red. And if you see any of us streaming or whatever on Twitter, follow all of that. Follow all of us too, because you know we be getting it in on social media. Love you guys. You about. Happy Halloween.
Happy
All right,
Halloween.
Space Gang. Thanks for listening to the show today. Novacaine, let them know what they can do for us to find the show.
Head on over to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can keep up with every single live episode or catch up on any episodes you may have missed in the past. Also, you can catch up on all of our episodes on Apple Podcasts.
All right, Space Gang. I have been the BK Spadez here with my very lovely co-host.
Novacaine, baby.
Thanks for listening.